not turned on.
Whereas on June 7th, 2025, French general commonly known as Marquis de Lafayette, the esteemed patient guest and hero of two revolutions, passed through the young Genesee country during his momentous farewell tour of the United States. And whereas General Lafayette's journey from Rochester to Canandaigua brought him, albeit briefly, through the very heart of the town of Menden. Whereas the short passage connected our pioneering community directly to a living symbol of liberty, patriotism, and the enduring spirit of the American Revolution. And whereas the foresight and the ideas embodied by Lafayette's sacrifices for freedom are a foundational part of our American heritage, inspiring generations then and now. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the town of Menden formally acknowledge and perpetually remember this historic visitation, which, though fleeting, left an indelible mark on our local consciousness and linked us to the national narrative, gratitude and admiration. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Menden, New York, that June 7th be recognized as a day of historical significance for our community, honoring the esteemed visit of General Lafayette. The board encourage all citizens to reflect upon the ideals of liberty and self-government for which he stood, and to cherish the historical connections that bind the town to the broader story of American independence. Thank you.
I'm now going to introduce Mr. Patrick Meredith, Director of the Monroe County Parks Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, General Lafayette. We are honored to have you here today and celebrate this day and the marker we have here that helps educate guests in the area of significant milestones in your travels that occurred here 2 centuries ago. Thank you, Stephanie, for inviting me here to say a few words during this day of celebration. Our region's rich history and heritage are made more accessible and more relevant when site markers bring the knowledge of great people and events to life in significant locations. When we place a marker about Revolutionary War hero Marquis de Lafayette traveling through Menden on his way from then Rochesterville to Canandaigua, we are hoping to spark a genuine connection to and interest in our local history and its connections to our national history and all who pass by. Igniting that spark is the goal of historical markers in general. These historical markers help bring our history out of the pages of books and make it come to life right in our own backyards. I am grateful to the many partners who we have worked with to help place historical markers throughout our park system, including the Pomeroy Foundation, the New York Daughters of the American Revolution, the Menden Foundation, and the Lafayette Trail Foundation in this instance. We appreciate all of their support. Thank you.
We're also going to hear a few words from Rich Cole from the Union Star Mason Lodge, number 320.
Thank you. My name is Richard Cale. I recently completed a 2-year term as the Master of the Masonic Lodge in Honeyett Falls, Union Star Lodge, 2020. I'm here to provide some brief facts about Lafayette in relation to the historical relevance and travels of the Freemason. The Marquis de Lafayette was a prominent figure in both American and French revolutions. He was also a Freemason. He joined the organization in France, likely in either Loge de Condor or Loge Contrat Social in Paris. While his exact date of initiation is debated, some accounts suggest that he was made of Mason during the winter of 1777 to 1778 at Valley Forge. He later became a Royal Archmason and advanced in various Masonic careers, including the Scottish Army, becoming an Archmason during the 3rd degree Mason. As a lifelong Freemason, Lafayette was honored by Masonic bodies across America lodges he visited, local Masonic lodges often supplied members for organizing committees, parade escorts, color guards, and ceremonial platforms, symbolically aligning the fraternity with patriotic duty. Masonic lodges recorded his visits in lodge minutes and commemorative histories, ensuring his tour became a part of both civic and fraternal legacy. On June 6, 1825, after public ceremonies were concluded, Lafayette and his son were welcomed in a private session by Ames Chapter number 88. The event was solemn, and its minutes were published in the New York Times 40 years later. Brotherhood, liberty, and civic virtue, four tenets of Masonry, resonated with Lafayette's tour speeches and helped him in the American public beyond political factions. Thank you.
Now, I have a very important special guest to introduce. Now, if anybody made a handkerchief, I'd like to see you wave it, because we are going to introduce the guest of honor, Marquis de Lafayette. Please make a loud round of applause.
Lafayette's taller than I am.
This is perhaps a lesser-known invention of the Dr. Franklin, this voice amplification device. Truly, the advances in technology that this country has seen continue to amaze. Mesdames et messieurs, when some 10 months ago I first arrived and had the happiness to revisit the American shore, it was in the beautiful Bay of New York. And there within the walls of that vast and flourishing emporium of communication between the hemispheres, I began to receive these welcome expressions from the people of the United States, which have filled my heart with so much gratitude and delight. And also in this place did I begin to discover that however high placed had been my expectations, they were surpassed, as indeed they have been surpassed at every stop of my progress on this tour through the various parts of the Union, surpassed by the wonders that have been the result of true Republican principles and American patriotism. My own obligations to the United States far exceed any merit that I might plausibly claim. They begin from a time when I had the good fortune to be adopted as a young soldier, a favored son of your country. And they have been continued to me over many decades of affections and confidence, and now, thanks to the most gracious invitation from the namesake of this county, my friend, the President James Monroe, I have been greeted by a series of welcomes, any one of which would be more than enough to have justified all of the exertions of a lifetime of public service. I have grasped the hands of veterans of that great revolutionary conflict and been reminded with much vivacity of the times when we shared the same dangers and fatigues. Mes amis, the approbation of the American people for my conduct during the American Revolution and during the vicissitudes of the European revolutions that followed is for me the highest honor I could ever hope to achieve. Well may I stand firm and proud when in their names, in your names, I can be said to have remained ever faithful to those American principles of liberty, equality, true social order, the devotion to which, as it has been since my earliest youth, so shall it continue to be until my latest breath. Mes amis, I ask you, I beseech you to accept, on behalf of the citizens of this town and of the county, to accept my most heartfelt acknowledgments of the gratifying welcome that you have given me, and my personal, sincere thanks for the manner in which you have been pleased to express it. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous souhaite tous une très agréable continuation de votre journée. Merci beaucoup, mes amis. Thank you very much. Vive la vie! Vive la vie!
Thank you.